Hi guys, what a beautiful day. You are at Friggin' Jeep. If you didn't know, welcome, and I appreciate you being here. And my name is John, and I got a long list of things to do today, or a long list of things. Well, I probably won't get them done. Let me get the list out so we can go over it with you guys. I know you're interested. Okay, I need to spray some mint. The wife boiled some spearmint, and so I got to get a spray bottle and get in that and start spraying the bobcat and spraying my car and some other things that the squirrels and other animals might want to get into. Nails out of the ashes. I got informed today we're having a bonfire tonight, which I'm all right with that, but I had a fire there yesterday, so I'll have to put the ashes in a wheelbarrow because I don't want any unexpected situations to occur. And I got to run a magnet through them. So somewhere down here, there it is. That little magnet there is very, very strong. I have two of them. I have a bigger one than that. And I'll show you me taking the piece in the center out. It takes, sometimes you got to put your foot on the bottom to pull it out. Real strong. Let's see. I got to mow grass. I got to crack some more nuts, but I probably won't do that. Split some wood. On splitting the wood, I did finish cleaning up that, and I'll show you a minute spot on that. And I'm going to weigh a piece of wood just to show you how heavy that wood was. Extremely heavy. I want to think on the light pole for my wood splitter, put some lights up. I have some LED lights. I bought a whole case of these, and they're right bright. And I wanted to switch the ones in the old sawmill so I had better light, but I've just never gotten around to it. I've had them for I don't know how many years. I want to weigh that one piece of wood, clean out the fire ring because of the bonfire tonight, work on some wood boxes, but I probably won't get there today. Work on the red sawmill. It's always on my list, but I never get around to it. And set up for the bonfire. So that's kind of what's going on in there. And like the one guy sent me, and I talked to Mark last night, Mark Galici up at Bus Motor Productions. If you haven't ever visited up there, go up and visit there. That guy is so talented in making wood stuff, sawing wood. Just he's got so much information in it that he knows that I can't even forget that much information, or something like that. I don't know if that came out exactly why I wanted to come out, but he's very, very good at what he does, whether it's sawing or whether it's woodworking or cabinet making. And he made that saw blade for the Bunyan show. If you haven't seen that, stop by his show, his channel, and see that saw. He made a wooden saw blade. Don't think it's too early. It's actually before 12 o'clock again. So anyhow, that's kind of what's going on. So I'm going to get into it, and some of the stuff I'll bring you around for. Other stuff I might just do minute updates on what I'm doing. So I guess I'll show you me taking this piece out of the magnet. I'm going to put you on here. I'm hoping this was kind of like on plan, on rehearse. That's the nutcracker. The wife made a great, some kind of cake, bread, I don't know what it was, yesterday. And I just about finished it all. I'm going to slide this down out of the way. And I got another thing of nuts here. I guess we'll turn the light on so you can see better. Getting this thing out is not easy. And you can maybe, you can see it comes out. It turns and all that stuff. This is one strong magnet, and the other one's even stronger. To give you an idea, I guess you really can't. I guess it'll, yeah, it's pretty strong. It's super old. This is an old, the only thing that I know is I believe they came out of radars a long time ago. I don't know how they worked. If you recognize it or know what it is, my granddad had one that when I was a kid, like we're talking 10, he used to always run it through his burn pile and get all the nails and stuff out. And I saw this one up at Carlisle, and I bought it because it matched Granddad's. I still got Granddad's, but I don't run it through the muck and the muck of a burn pile. So that's where I'm headed to next. We'll see you in a bit. Well, here we are at the campfire spot. Sometimes I put a rope on the end of this thing. I don't know how hot this is in here. I'm gonna find out. And you can see I got 1,000,000 pieces of metal in here. So this is going to take a lot of time. So I'm going to shake that off. And what I didn't bring was something to put the metal in. My bucket up there is full, so we'll be back in a minute. As usual, butt first, right? And going through life butt first. Well, we're getting down to the bottom. I take a shovelful out now, and put it in the wheelbarrow, maybe 2 shovel loads. Put it in the wheelbarrow and then run the magnet through the wheelbarrow a little bit. Now the reason I'm burning this out is because underneath here, if you didn't know, when I built it, somewhere there's air intakes. Here's one right here. I don't know if you can see it. So there's one right there. And they got to be cleaned out so the fire gets some air underneath. And then it acts kind of like a chimney effect. So I guess I'll throw a couple more loads in there, and I have to show you what I've gotten because I'll probably forget. Just a half a minute update. I don't know if you can see that. That's about, it's up to about here. So that's quite a few. But then I'll just take the magnet over here. I guess you can see it in the wheelbarrow. I had to wait till I had a few inches on the wheelbarrow of stuff. And gotta get that out of the way. It keeps picking that up. Only missed one in there. Where's my bucket? So that's enough of getting ashes out of the fireplace ring. I'm going to finish cleaning that up and then start getting ready for a bonfire. We'll see you later. Well, I thought I was all done. You can see the air inlets. There's one on every corner. It also keeps the ring up off the ground. That's a lot lower than the earth. But I found this in there. And this is magnetic. It's very light, but it's magnetic, and I'd swear it's a bullet. But I don't know what else it is. Maybe a valve, but you can, I guess, see it. It's definitely metal, but it's light, I guess, because it's hollow. And I think it's a bullet, and it was probably in a piece of the, all the wood that I was using was, I don't know. Look how. I don't know how that could be a bullet. Kind of an interesting piece. So we'll put it in the, I don't know what it is and where to put it pile. That's the rest of that. And I ran the magnet through there and really didn't get anything. So this is the final one on ashes. We'll see you. Bye. This is almost the rest of the wood. I got one more big round back there. Those two there, no, it's one. I think those two there are the ones that have metal in them. Mark, we're going to find that. This stuff is extremely heavy. And if you think, oh, you're not going to get much more dead than this, dead standing for a long time. This piece here was way up in the tree, but it was heavy. So I'm going to take it up and put it on the scale. It's, most of my wood's about 18. This might be a little bit shorter. Tell me how much you think it's going to, leave a comment down there. How much you think this little piece, it's oak, and it's been dead for, I know, at least 4 years. And it was dead standing, so that lets you know. And you can see where, it started to rot away. You saw me splitting yesterday and all the rot in there. So anyhow, this is a minute update. We're going up to the greenhouse and weigh that beast. Well, did you leave a comment down below on how much that weighed? Well, I weighed it on that one first. That's old Montgomery Wards. I think that's one of my not my most favorite, but on the top list. Well, on this scale here, it weighed 53 pounds. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you can see that. So I put it over there to see if they weighed the same. And you know something? There's the 20, there's the 30, that's 50, and 1, 2, 3. So it weighs 53 pounds. Now, that's quite a piece, you know, for people to think that wood is dry, even though it's dead standing. You're not going to get much more dead than that. Now I'm going to go down and try to split it. This little piece is nothing but a knot. That's probably why it's so hot, because you got a limb here, a limb here, and a limb here. I don't even know if my splitter will split that, because like I said before, my splitter ain't got a whole lot of pressure. But I think I might be able to whittle on it, and I think you'll find on the inside of that thing it's going to go off the chart. Just for an update, that hasn't changed. This may have changed to half a pound, probably not much, and I don't know how long. We'll go over that some other time. So I'm going to take that down the splitter. We're going to split it and see what the moisture content is, just for grins. We'll be back in a bit. Something I want to show you guys first. Like I said, this thing's only got 7 tons of pressure. Everybody says they need more. Well, a lot of splitting wedges are like this. They're just a point here, and then it's straight back like this. Nothing wrong with it, any design you want. The actual splitting angle is this, okay? So even though it comes back here and it's only pushing a little piece through, the actual splitting angle is this angle here. Where on mine, it starts up here and goes all the way back. You can see, so mine is maybe slicing it more than splitting it, but it's getting through it, and then it gets back here and it starts to, I don't know, it's a not as sharp of angle. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. If you understand that, leave me a comment if you understand what I'm talking about. That's why this thing, even though it doesn't have a lot of pressure, it gets through a lot of stuff it shouldn't. I'm watching my wedge. I think it's almost time to take it down and get it worked on, because this is just a addition on the end of this. And somewhere I can find a picture. This thing was, I've demolished some of these, and then the end of it now is railroad track. And ever since I started going to railroad track, I've never had a problem with the metal. So, and back in the 70s, I didn't know what metal was metal. I just knew, to me, the toughest thing in the world had to be railroad track. So that's why that's railroad track. And it's been tough for many, many years. And it's just a 1-inch piece welded on there, or maybe 1.5-inch piece welded on there. And I didn't even know how to weld back then. I got lucky. So I'll be back in a minute. We're going to try to bust that piece in half, but that 53 pounds is heavy for this old geezer. Be back in a bit. I hope you guys can see this. Probably not. I think that's about in the center. Now this was just cut yesterday or the day before. I think you can see the meter. Now see, you go like this and okay, it shows 20. But if you push that thing in there and get those needles in there, it's off the scale. Okay, so there's not much point in going any further than that. Off the scale. So if you have a piece of oak and you say it's ready and you just stick it like that, okay, well, you can stick it lightly. Oh, that's 25%, it's almost ready. Here's one, oh, it's at 10%, it's almost ready. Oh, here, there you go, 21%, it's almost ready. If you stick those prongs in there, the further you stick them in, the higher that percentage goes, because you got more continuity there. All right, let's see if we can't bust this thing up. Not much point in seeing what it is in the inside, because we know it's off the scale on the outside where I just cut. I think we can put you here. Maybe we'll put you over here. I think this would even be better. This is the crappy tripod. And I hope I don't know how to read this. There ain't no, whoa. I don't want to have to pick it up again. Like I said, there's a knot here, a knot here, a limb here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read this thing. I don't think I could read it if it was even in Braille. So let's see if this old beast will get going. Let's see, we turn the light on. Oh, I forgot the screwdriver. Where's that poker? Had one yesterday. Well, it did better than I thought. I really didn't think that was going to make it through that one. You just never know, and then you get one that you think is going to be, well, this one I thought was going to be tough and was easy. A lot of the splitting that you do is reading the wood too. So anyhow, think about this little diagram thing I did, and leave me a comment below what you think. We'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye. Gonna go mow grass. That's what I'm gonna go do for the next, couple hours. We'll see you. Well, I don't know how much battery I got left. We're at the end of the day, and I got some wooden sides on this for that. I'm kind of shadowing it here. You guys kind of like this spot here, so it ought to be pretty good. I guess you can't quite see me pull it down. Can't see everything. We're going to split for a little while, not too long, because the battery's going to wear out. Just trying to get down to those that have the metal in them so you guys can find out what's going on. And I did forget to bring a screwdriver again. One of these days I'll remember that, but the screws down there are not too bad to get to. in there. I guess the battery lasted longer than I thought. Oh, it's a flashing at me. All right, I'm gonna split a little bit more and bring you back when I get to the ones in the middle, into the metal. So I'm just gonna let it go till the battery stops. Well, I better stop now.